Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Well, I recently won at $200,000, a little over, on a game show.
Wow!
And I'm 70 years old. That's more money than.
Can you
really
tell us
I've
which
ever
game
had.
show? Are you allowed to?
The game show was called Snake Oil with David Spade. It was just on for one season.
Oh my gosh!
Very fun. Now,
Yes.
so have you gotten hit with the game show tax yet?
Yes, I have, and that was approximately $55,000.
Yep.
It was California taxes, and it was pretty expensive.
Okay, so that's your 200 is left over after that, or you have 145 left?
I have 145 left of that.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, way to go, Nancy.
I know.
That's
Thank you.
awesome. So what are you going to do with your $150,000?
So, Dave, that's what I want to know. I'm not sure what to do. I'm 70 years old and basically retired. We're retired, my husband and I work very part-time, and so does my husband, because we're still able to, and we feel up to it. And right now I have the money. I have actually a little over $200,000 in a money market, which is about a pretty good interest rate, 5.5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and then we recently downsized, and I owe about $85,000 still on our house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if we should pay the house up. I love keeping.
Is 200 your entire nest egg?
Yes, besides the equity in our house.
Right, but you don't have any other 401k retirement?
No.
Okay. Do you have
No, I
pensions?
don't.
Do you have pensions coming in?
We just have Social Security, and between two of us, that's about $4,500.
What's it take
roughly.
you to live a month?
Gosh, I don't actually know. That's terrible. I don't know exactly.
Are you
what
living
it
on the
costs for-
Social Security or Social Security plus your income?
Yes, well, we both work part-time, too. I make very little money working a part-time job. If I'm lucky, I make $600 a month. It's just kind of a fun thing I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then my husband makes a couple thousand extra working part-time besides our
Mhm.
Social Security.
Okay.
And, of course, we're not going to be able to do that for,
Ever, right.
ever, seeing as though we're in our 70s.
How much is your mortgage a month, Nancy?
It's about $756 a month.
Okay.
Or it is $756 a month.
Yep.
So, the answer
And
the answer to your question is I'm not sure what you should do, but we can talk it through together.
Okay.
If you had $600,000, I would tell you instantaneously write a check and pay off your house today.
Right.
If you had $100,000, I would tell you not to pay off your house because you would be starved.
Right.
And you're kind of in the middle.
I
It scares
know.
me that we're getting ready to use half of your money to pay off your house, but it also scares me that you go into your 80s with a mortgage.
That's right.
So
That's
those two
right.
those two things are competing here because we've only got 200,000 to work with. So I
Right.
guess I would say if you do some other things, and I'll give you
Okay.
those things, I would pay off the house. The other things
Okay.
are I would set up an automatic draft into a mutual fund, possibly a Roth retirement account with a
Okay.
SmartVestor Pro, to the tune, if you pay off the house, you don't have a $756 payment anymore. So I'm going
Right.
to make it at least $1,000, maybe $1,500 every
Okay.
month going into retirement.
Okay. Okay.
And we can rebuild the $85,000 in just a couple of years doing that.
Okay.
Because that's 1,500 is 18,000 plus
Right.
a year plus growth. So 2 years would be
Right.
36, 4 years would be 72. So it's going to take you about 3 years to get your 85,000 back if you do 1,500 a month. So
Okay.
if you all are willing to get on a detailed budget and sit down with a SmartVestor Pro and open a good mutual fund and
Okay.
move some of that other 100 and something that's left into that mutual
All
fund
right.
too, so that it's
All right.
growing. I want it growing more
Okay.
than 5%. Now, I do want you to
Okay.
keep about $30,000 as your emergency fund in the high yield savings or the money market. But the other
Okay.
70 or so after you pay off the house, 80 or so, you should move that as well into a mutual fund. Now, let's talk that through for a second, and I'll show you why I'm doing that, okay?
Okay.
If the stock market since it began has averaged, meaning some years not, some years more,
Right.
has averaged 11.8. If it didn't do that well and it only made 10, the money, that lump sum that you've got that you're going to put in there, will double every 7 years. And so let's, not counting what we're adding to it monthly, but just taking that 75,000 or so. I'm going to call it 75 for math. At 77, it'll be 150. Not counting what you add to it. At 84, it'll be 300, not counting what you add to it.
Okay.
And that's if you continue to have your lifestyle be at Social Security plus part-time jobs or less, or you're not tapping into this money.
Okay.
So you'd have 300,000 in a paid-for house plus what you're adding to it, probably close to $500,000 when you're in your mid-80s.
Wow. Well, that sounds pretty good.
In a paid-for house. That all sounds good, but you got to follow
But
through
you're in
on
your mid 80s too. I mean, that's
mid-80s. Yeah. I know. I mean, I'm a really young 70, but
yeah.
mid-80s, that's a ways away.
Well, I can tell you just won a game show with David Spade. That's not an old 70, okay? That's not an old 70 right there. So you're awesome. I love you. So, yeah, I would pay it off, but only if you guys agree to, number one, get on a tight budget and detail out where every dollar's going, so that, number two, I can put $1,500 a month away.
Okay.
And sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, go to RamseySolutions.com.
And if that's too much, if 1,500, if they can't swing it.
I still would, they can swing it. She's got $6,000, $7,000 a month coming in, and she doesn't know where it's all going, other than it's getting spent. And so, I mean, he's making a little money, she's making a little money, and they got $4,500 Social Security.
Yeah.
So they can swing that. I don't know how long they can swing it, but they could do it for 3 years. They get the money back for the 85.
Yep.
That gives me comfort.
That's the goal.
That gives me comfort because
those 3 years.
Yeah. Otherwise, we leave them sitting there with almost no money or too small a nest egg, and a paid-for house. Because what we have run into over the years, folks, is somebody gets to retirement and they have a paid-for house and no money. They end up digging up the bushes and trying to eat them because there's no money to eat with, right? I mean, you some problem here. So you got to have some cash in addition to the paid-for house. We want you debt-free, but you got to have some cash,
Not sacrifice of not eating.
some investments,
right.
Not just cash, but some investments that are outside of your home.
Yep.
But having a paid-for home going into retirement it creates a sustainability way beyond somebody has debt going into retirement.
Yes. Well, and considering the mortgage is usually the highest line item for people of what they're paying every single month, and that's money. I mean, $800 is pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of mortgages, a lot more than that.
Oh,
and so,
definitely.
Being able to pocket that every single month and being able to use that to live off of versus having to pay the mortgage. I mean, that's where it gets crazy.
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing gave me comfort, and I didn't realize it till you're saying that. They've already downsized. Mm-hmm. She downsized
That's right.
to
She
get
did
to
say
that.
That's right. Yes.
And so these people are already noticing where they are.
Yeah.
They're not struggling
Trying
with
to be-
reality.
Yes.
And so that gives me comfort too, because they're reality-based people.
And their decision making is wise.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's real clear. And long before they got to this phone call. So that helps. That gives
Snake
me
oil with David Spade.
snake oil.
$200,000. Man, I thought she was going to say Price is
I
Right
got
or something.
$200,000 from snake oil. I didn't. She did. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.